Good evening, guys. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Asia. We're trading with Think today. Let me put up. Just one sec. Let me just put this up here for 1 second. Wait, where's this? Oh, here we go. Sorry, I want to put up the watermark. Oh, wow, that's yes. Code Edge for Think Capital, please. Let me put the link inside. Very, very easy platform to trade with. I want to make sure everybody has access to it. Here we go. Code Edge. Go crazy. I'm doing a couple of interesting things today. This is we're gonna change things up a little bit for people who want to trade more swing-like ideas. And this is the beautiful part about trading with Think and generally the CFD space is that we can actually segregate our trades. We can have scalp trades. We can have swing trades. Right now, I'm basically trying to trade the turn trade on gold. Gold dumped on the open, came down to the 50-50, just been running around this support level, trying to see if this is going to be the bounce level. We had a white dot turn on this that is not in any way, shape, or form a scalping signal for us, but it's, we've had like 3 or 4 white dots here suggesting that they're trying to carve out a bottom. So if the bottom happens, great. If it doesn't happen, we know we have a very, very natural stop right underneath here. Remember, when you're trading turns, you have to go at the trade sometimes 2 or 3 times before the turn actually happens. The general process in gold is that it's almost always a buy in Asia, meaning that whenever they sell it down, there's just this natural bid in Asia because Asia loves to buy gold. So I'm sort of trading this pattern within the technical framework, and we'll see it plays out. That's sort of a longer, bigger trading structure. The bread and butter scalping structure that we're going to do is just literally that. We're going to trade our scalp condition the same way that we trade everything else, like in NASDAQ in the morning. And the scalp trades are going to be 2-6, meaning we're gonna trade for $2 against 6, 1 to 3 risk, but we're going to try to find obviously the setups that we need. The setups that we need are we're going to have a white dot, and then we have to have a red-green dot over green slope. So until we see that formation and that pattern, we're not really trading it and not taking any scalp trades. So right now, we're just going to float the swing trade to see if this 50-50 level holds. We'll see. And, a lot of times they like to run it and then come back in and trade it again. So if they do that, we'll come back. The cool thing about the turn trades is that you can go 2 or 3 times on the opportunity because you have an asymmetric risk. You basically have a relatively small defined stop here against possibly a much larger P&L. So it's the process on the swing trades. You lose one, you make you lose one, you lose one, you lose one, you make 4. Right? That's kind of like the process. What you're hoping for is you only you take 1 risk and you make 4 right away. But a turn doesn't always happen right away. Although we've been building for about an hour here at this 50-50 support, so we'll see if the turn actually starts to take place. So the cool thing with Think is we can actually run 2 separate trades as it goes. Like right now, here we go. Like here's a white dot, here's a green dot that possibly is setting up. If this candle closes, right? This candle closes as it stands right now, we can create a I want to do a what I want to do? I think I'm gonna have to create a new let me go into trade, go to market. We want to go to ticks, and I want 2060, $2, $6, 2060 as my structure. Save that. Save what a preset as a 2060. That's all you need to do. Save. And obviously the trade failed, right? We didn't get the trade, which is fine. And we will, where's my 2060? And, I'll just put the buttons over here. So it's preset for me. So basically, if I do get the turn here, I can easily engage with the product. So it makes it super simple, right? Hopefully you guys understand. Hopefully you guys like it. Good evening, everybody. So what's everybody doing? Apex metals with wealth charts. What's going on with wealth charts? Is there something different with wealth charts that there isn't on Tradeovate? I never sleep. Well, it's not that late in New York. It's only 7:00. But yeah, I'm up early. That's for sure. I take naps, Adam. That's my secret. I take a nap midday. TNT, what do you mean about metals? The fact that they're banned? That's that's a global thing. There's nothing to talk about. Or is there something about wealth charts specifically that I don't know about? Yeah, that's pretty much a global thing. A lot of prop firms stop metal trading because the volatility is just enormous. Nothing you can do. We trade Nasdaq, and it's actually been working great. I'm actually really glad. I know it's frustrating, but it's kind of been a blessing in disguise because the vol in gold was so much that I made tons of P&L, and then I blew tons of P&L because of the vol on gold. Nasdaq has been much steadier on the futures front. But what's the point? They're trying to protect their P&L, rightly so, because of the vol in the underlying. I think they need to. My only suggestion to them was that they really need to bring back the micros so people can just trade the micros, and I think they probably will. We'll see. Oops. So they testing the lows here, right? And now we can absolutely trade another part of our arsenal, which is momentum against the lows. We have a red dot. We're testing the lows. I'm happy to sell this now with 9-10 seconds. Let's see. Okay. And let's see if this gives me some continuity to the downside as just a pure momentum continuity trade. So yeah, they broke the lows, and obviously it's a little too early to stage the rally. We're going to be patient. We're going to wait for the next big turn on the product and see if we can make the big swing trade the other way. As I said, the cool thing here is that we can run two separate trades with no problems with Think, and that gives us lots of flexibility. So we'll see if they're gonna try to bust the 50-50s. Yeah. Oh, it's first time. Oh, nice to have you. I'm glad you're here for the first time. Generally, what I do is just scalp like a banshee because that's really all I do. But the indicator that I developed and strategy that I have is extraordinarily profitable for swing traders. I'm really good at picking turns within a trend that help you kind of trade large moves. I just don't have the patience to do it, so I refuse to do it. The other thing I was going to say to you guys, as far as what's kind of a little bit frustrating, obviously, whenever you're trading CFDs, is I'm eating spread here. You see, the spread is is it 20? Spread is 20 to 30. It's you see, I would have made the scalp, right? It went 19, 18 ticks in my direction, but the spread just wouldn't do me. The only frustrating part I hate about trading scalping on CFDs is the spread eats me. But here's the cool thing. Watch what happens now. We're turning, right? First of all, if this takes me out, this turns me back into a scalp trade. So I'm going to go back the other way as a scalp trade. But it also gives me the possibility of a swing trade. So we're actually going to do two types of trades. And since it's a swing trade, I can actually enter it early. I'm going to enter this one early as a turn trade. And then if this thing holds, I'll enter it as a scalp trade. And we might be able to get both done. We'll see. 24 seconds. So for the turn trade, we're just looking for the, we're looking for the white dot at session lows. We're basically going to be, if they tested the session lows, they brought it back. If they're going to test the session lows again, fine. I'm perfectly patient to wait, because when they do turn it, I think it's going to be quite productive for 100 points, right? Okay, now we get the scalp trade. Now I'm going to do the scalp trade. And so the cool thing, you see how with Think we can run two separate trades. So this is a scalp trade for just 20 ticks. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fucking hate trading spreads. So I'm going to just make the scalp trade a little tighter and see if it can get done. And the swing trade I'll leave in place. Okay, so the scalp trade is done, right? And now we can leave the swing trade in place and see how it wants to play. We'll see how many ticks we can squeeze out of it. I think it's pretty reasonable that we could look at that 65. I think we could probably squeeze out maybe 70. Let's see if we can get up to 70. Try to take about 100 ticks out of that swing trade. The point being is that for those of you guys who really like the big trades, risk 20, make 100, this is the perfect structure. And it makes it, and I really wanted to demonstrate this to you. It's so much easier to demonstrate this to you on a CFD platform where you can manage separate trades. When we're doing scalping in futures, all I can do is just show you the virtual setups. But with CFDs, it's a lot easier to kind of run two separate trades. So we'll see. Let this thing run. If this is all it's got, and it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We'll give it another shot. The point being here is that when you're doing swing trades, you're going to miss a lot but hit big. When you're doing scalp trades, you're going to miss very little but hit small. That's the trade-offs, and I wanted to show both of those in play so that you guys could get a feel for what you like, or basically how it all works. Like there's no situation where you're going to hit big and not miss a lot. You're either a home run hitter or you're hitting singles, but you don't get to hit 500 and do 100 ribbies a year. Just doesn't work that way. That's I'm sure I lost about half the audience because I just made a ridiculously obscure baseball analogy, but most the Americans will understand. Why is stop loss? Because we're scalping. When you're scalping, you have to trade with a negative risk reward ratio, because what you're doing is you're looking for lots and lots and lots. You look lots of winners and rare losers, right? That's what you're looking for. Scalping is not the ideal strategy for CFD platforms. I'm using my scalping strategy to kind of show you the ideas, but where I excel, where we excel with scalping is on futures, because CFDs have spread, and spread is just very, very toxic to scalping. We're looking for short, quick hits. On the future side, we can make bid ask, so we're always out of the trade. Here, we got to overcome the bid ask all the time. So it's definitely much better to trade kind of swing ideas. But gold really wants to test the bottom again. All right, we're gonna hang. If it hits my stop, it hits my stop. We had a night. What did it run? Around about 50 points, which is not enough. If I want to pick a swing here, I really wanted about a $10 trade, right? When I'm doing a scalp, I want about a $2 trade. It all depends on how you want to trade it. I'm actually curious, who's scalping on the CFD platform? Anybody scalping on the CFD platform? And if you are, what are you doing? Like, what are your ratios? What are you trying to hit? How are you overcoming spread? I'd love to know. Share your experiences with us. Or is everybody pretty much trading trading sort of swing like day trading, structures for like $10 or more on the gold side? Evgeny, that's a yes to what? That you're scalping? And if you are, share with me what you're doing. Yeah, futures don't have a dealer spread. There's difference between ask and bid, but here's the difference. They think with futures, if you go market, you're buying offer, right? You're buying offer, so you're paying spread on market, but then you're a limit out, and you're limit on the ask, and because futures is a central book, you're always going to get done on the ask. So you're only paying half the spread. If you're coming in on futures, a lot of people actually will try to completely eliminate spread if they're sitting on bid and trying to sell on the offer. But the problem is you miss trades that way. We're always going to enter market, but we're always exiting limit, which means that we're only paying half the spread on futures. And more importantly, it's not so much that's paying the spread, it's getting the trade done. Remember, that trade that I did, the first scalp trade that I did, would have been totally done, but the spread, prevented me from getting that trade. That I was completely correct directionally. It just didn't go far enough. What does it mean? Didn't go far enough? Didn't make the spread. And that's the killer part on the CFDs. That's why I was asking how everybody's trading CFDs, because on futures that trade would have been done completely. Okay. So the other good thing is I think we can go both long and short on Think. I'm going to test this out. That's the other great thing about CFDs. You can literally have a bi-directional. Can you have bi-directional trades? That's actually, I know in brokers you can do this. And the reason why I'm saying this is because when we're doing scalping works both ways. And you can see over here that the scalp trade that we trade is the white to green on the upside, or purple to red to the downside. And purple is over here. What we're looking for is a red dot, red slope thing, like right here. 18 seconds left. You see how the slope is red, the dot is red, the first dot is purple. So if this dot stays red right here, we're going to sell this. And I wonder if it's going to let me do this. I'm just curious. And if not, then I'll do it in the other account. Okay, no, it doesn't show up. No trade anyways, so there's no trade. And now we're turning back up, and we'll see if they hold the bottom. One of the cool things about the indicator that you guys are looking at, my dots indicator, is that it's always painting session high, session lows, and those are the most important levels anytime you trade. Everything else is secondary, because traders are always going to run or get close to session high, session lows, and how the price reacts at those levels is where you have the best opportunity. I always say the edge is at the edge, right? Because if you can find the bottom of the session low, then that's where you get the biggest bang for the buck on a turn trade. That's really what I'm trying to do here. Jet says you can hedge on CFDs. The only reason I'm saying I don't know is because it's a prop account, and I don't know if on the prop account I could be both a buyer and a seller intra trade. So in other words, I have this one big trade where I'm long, but I'm scalping against the trade. If that's true, it's really, really great, because that's a huge advantage of CFDs that you don't have on the future side. So there's always interesting positives and negatives. Where are you trading from, Ufuknet? Like, what country are you in that you kind of prevented from doing U.S. business? You don't have to say this if you don't want to, but I'm just curious. You can answer on the FTMO. Turkey. Oh, what do you mean? Like Apex won't take your business? Turkey is Really? Apex won't take business from Turkey? No way. I can't believe that. Really? Is that true? Oh, that sucks. Oh, I'm so sorry. That totally sucks. Is it? Are they all like that? Why? I mean, I'm shocked. I'm literally shocked that they wouldn't take business from Turkey. This is a possible, scalp trade to the upside. Not yet. The slope hasn't turned green for us, so we're just going to stay patient here for a bit. Now I'm like really. Let me just Google this. Does Tradeify? Usually, if one of them doesn't take it, probably the other ones don't. Tradeify take customers from Turkey. Does not residences. Turkey is listed among the restricted countries. Why? What the fuck is wrong with Turkey? Yeah, usually if one of them doesn't take it, another one. Okay. Well, then we're just trading on the CFD platforms. Good morning, Rick Roy from Thailand. Nice to see you. Good morning, good evening. All right, so we're trading the swing trade. We're running the big swing trade, and now here's my trusty little. You see this? Green, red, green slope, white dot. That's the setup. 15 seconds left. We're going to trade the long scalp over here as a separate trade. 6-7 seconds. If this thing holds, doesn't hold. Oh, it does hold. Came back up. All right, good. So we got long. Let's see if this is good. This is good for a scalp. So we have the swing still running, and now we're trying to see if we can get the scalp on this short-term basis. And again, I'm just going to adjust my TP for spread reasons. Let's see if it's going to work for us a little bit here. So you know what, Yufuknet, you should consider everything that I do, but in a much more on a swing-like basis, right? Because if you're facing sort of CFD spreads, or you could do like what I'm doing now, which is you could because you can go both sides, you can take positional trades one way or the other. In other words, you could be long and short. But we're actually both long on both of these trades. But if there was a short signal there, you could have taken that also. The point being is, I really think, and because CFDs can be as small or large as you want them to be, you can really create really interesting, much longer term trades using the same structure on dots, right? In a much more adjustable fashion. So you could really use it to your advantage, hopefully, on the trades. So really quiet price action, not a lot of flow. Usually 7 o'clock, we get some flow, but gold has just been we've just been basically bouncing the 50 to 60, I guess, trade. We'll see. We'll see if they want to pull it a little higher. But right now, I mean, what we're doing is just waiting for the rally, effectively, which is not coming so far. Scalping is super slow. Nothing much is happening. We could also, I'm kind of curious. I just want to look at NAS for a sec, guys, and see if NAS has anything going on here. So we could, here's a NASDAQ signal for us. Like, this is a legit signal for me also in NASDAQ, because you can also trade a little bit of this on the scalp side and also maybe even on the swing side. So this is a white dot against the green dot, green slope. You see how it's kind of aging. Let me I guess I'll try 2060. Okay, let me see if I can do this. Okay. Oh, this is like, oh, this is 20 points. I was trying to figure out how many points this is. Holy shit. Okay. So in this particular case, because every instrument is different. So here I'm sort of trading, and this is actually a nice look at this nice move. This is the 5-point scalp that I like to do. Come on, get me out. Why is this not getting me out? Oh, it doesn't let me do this? Really? Okay, so shit. All right, I'm just gonna take it out manually. I guess it doesn't let me bring it so close. Anyways, what we like to do on the scalp side is just 515 on NAS. That's a very, very clean trade here. Nasdaq is really, really, really responsive to this trade, and that could be done like a 515 on this one. Could be done nicely. We can also kind of consider this, and I'm not against it. You see, same kind of a story. We're sort of making a double bottom here. So I'm happy to, let's see if I can do this. 1030. Okay, so the stop, I'm going to put the stop over here. This is I would have loved to have been over here, entry over here, but it's not a horrible situation to see if we can try to make a sort of a swing trade over here on NASDAQ. And obviously I can blend my price a little bit here, which I will do. But let's go back to my gold position. Where's my gold position? Oh, look at this. Gold position almost went to my scalp target, and then retreated. Let's see if gold wants to do anything. All right, 8 up. Do we want to run it? Can we run it? Yeah, thanks, Adam. No, actually, honestly, I'm super happy. That's the I don't need commissions. I'm really like nothing makes me, the biggest payoff for me is when I see people. Oh, we got hit on the scalp, right? And we're still holding the swing, right? So let's see if we can run the swing. So this, the scalp finally paid out for us on this. It was still holding the swing, and and we'll see how that plays out. So Keith was saying that he has tested swing trades trading between the white and the purple dots. Well, my recommendation, and this is where I think the dot structure really, really excels. The most lucrative trades is the turn trades off bottom or top, right? That's where you find, in my opinion, the best edges in the instrument. And because we have, first of all, 3 sessions, each session makes a high and a low, right? You can trade against session highs, session lows. Those things really create very asymmetric bets, right? I mean, look at this thing. This thing popped over here, 56. I mean, it was a big pop, but we got in, I guess, a little bit late. I guess we got in a little bit here. We should have gotten in about here, about $4 or $5 lower. But even still, we have a chance here to make about $10 on this swing trade, and that's the big, that's the big payout money. You're risking 2 or 3 to make 10 against swing highs, against session highs, session lows. That works, by the way, across all instruments. It works against NASDAQ, works against everything, and it's very, very attractive. By the way, as a matter of fact, here's NASDAQ. Let's take a look. NASDAQ. What the fuck am I here? Oh, I took the other trade out. Whatever. Doesn't matter. All right, you know what? I'm just going to get out of NASDAQ. I can't do 2 trades at the same time. It does. My focus doesn't work. But this is the point being is that now that I kind of introduced you to this idea, we can absolutely do this much more in Asia over time. Where, okay, here's a bottom. We came back to sort of test the double bottom over here. Would have been here at around 59. This would have been almost a 20-point move here in NASDAQ if I properly structured it. But that's okay. That's, we will do that. And we'll work with it. All right, gold is inching. I think I'm gonna probably I want to bring it right below these session highs, get myself down to maybe 69 on gold. See if we can nurse this trade to the upside. Of course, if you're trading this like in an intelligent fashion fully, right? What you could do is you could give up half at around 30, 40 points in the money, maybe move yourself to break even, or just simply hold the stop and make money on the half and let the rest float, whatever. There's 100 different ways to exit these positions. My job is to give you the entries. And that's what I'm going to start working on, with you guys in the Asia session, is try to give you the good turn entries in Asia, because those can be very, very lucrative. And, hopefully you can internalize that. I mean, the rules are very clear. The dots are very, very obvious. And it's just a matter of execution. Today is sort of I wanted to put this in practice. And obviously the first time I put stuff in practice, it's never perfect. But the principle is the key thing that I really wanted to test. This is the Think Markets platform, one of our very good partners. Think Capital it's Think Capital, which is a subsidiary of Think Markets, which is a big broker out of Australia. The thing I love about this platform, they're a pure TradingView platform. So you could trade directly off TradingView, super, super simple, super easy, very intuitive platform. You can see, everything is on the chart, really cleanly marked. You can manage trades well. I only wish I had the, because I primarily trade futures in the morning. I actually wish I knew how to do partial exits and all the other shit on TradingView better. But my job is to show you the intelligent entries. You guys can figure out the exits, because everybody has different parameters for how they want to run exits. I'm going to suggest lots of different ways for how you want to trade those. But as I said, the entry here, we got stopped on the first entry. The second entry, I said we're going to go 2-3 times into the entry to find that turn. The entry here should have been literally right here at 56, and then we would have been $10 up, and I would have made my money. I didn't execute this perfectly, so now we're kind of floating on a trade. And basically, the bet now is that we sort of hold the bottom and have a secondary, buying wave here. Is that going to happen? I have no idea. We could easily turn the other way. In the meantime, I'm also going to show you how we can trade. We trade scalp in between these trades, because again, on the CFD, we can go long and short. And the scalp position that's setting up for us right now is purple dot, red slope. We get that condition. Well, the slope just goes green, so that completely nullifies that idea. But if this starts to come back down, what that's basically showing us is they want to try to run the bottom again, right? And we're going to take the scalp down here to the downside if it materializes on the charts. So it's kind of very cool, because we can do lots of different things intra trade while we are, we're nursing the big trade and we're scalping against the trend on the small trade. So it's kind of very useful for anybody who wants to be flexible. Let's see what's going on over here. 10 seconds left. Again, I want to go for a 2060. All right, kind of a lame signal, but fine. Okay, so I'm short against this, and I'm long on the other side. Let's see if my scalp, I'm going to bring my scalp just a little bit to beat the spread. Let's see if the selling continues, or if this is just a not a lot of selling pressure here. That's actually pretty good for the long side of the trade. Let's see. Gold just looks very, very choppy and consolidative so far. And obviously, we're like 15 minutes away from the Shanghai Open, and that could rock everybody's world. We'll see which way they want to rock it, because a lot of times it comes in and you just get massive candle volatility. Oh, we'll see. Not much is going on over here. NQ is better. Yeah. Oh, where's the NAS? Oh, yeah, the NAS is really trading very nicely. Yes. But we try to trade gold in Asia because that's sort of like the product. But yes, NAS, created a full swing move. I think I can't pronounce your name. It's some very Polish name that I'm going to call you ZD, okay? Because I can't pronounce. But ZD, you don't have this indicator. You have the other indicator. You have the beginner indicator. So yeah, you could use those those rules. There's a course, and it's all on demand. But this indicator that I have, that's strictly for coaching clients. And if you want this indicator and you want to come into coaching and learn all the other techniques, just email me. I will upgrade you, and you won't have to pay twice. We'll just give you an upgrade price. But what you have is like kind of the beginner bundle, I believe, because you just got the beginner entry, and that indicator just simply there's no support on that. You just take the course, you learn from that, and you can use that. Okay. But if you want the coaching, then come back and I'll be happy to help you with that. All right. So my scalp worked to the short side. So the short scalp worked, right? We took the nice clean short scalp that made bank. We're still holding the swing trade, which is fine. That's exactly what I want. We'll see if the bottom holds here. Like I said, the swing trade would have been better executed if we bought here, and then we could have almost banked right over here in 2 or 3 candles. But it's fine. Every strategy needs a little practice on the move. And as I said, the cool thing is that we may have 2 or 3 swing trades during Asia session, because while this looks like it's being sold right now, half an hour from now, we could have a massive move up, and it could be trading, session highs. So you got to just be very patient on the swing side. And unlike the scalp side, where we try to resolve these trades in a minute or two, this could take hours, which is fine. I love the ability to be able to scalp with and against the position while it's just kind of floating live here. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. NQ clean sided NQ is definitely better, but but we're committed to gold during Asia and NQ during US session, right? But it doesn't mean that I should have traded the swing move in NQ. It would have been a nice move, but we'll see. By the way, those of you guys who are in my coaching, I had Claude. I did like a 3-hour statistical simulation with Claude on all of the prop trading strategies, and specifically on the scalp strategy that we use. And it's like this brilliant 1-page takeaway analysis that I'm going to share with everybody in coaching on like exactly what you can expect and exactly how you should trade the prop. It's completely counterintuitive to what most people think. I ran a tremendous amount of really interesting simulations, so it's super interesting. So I'm going to give you this full AI analysis in coaching tomorrow if you guys want to come in and join me. Let me put the coaching link for those that want it. Here's the coaching link. 6 months deal. So really, really good deal. And if you join me, the coaching is tomorrow night, 7:00 every Thursday night. We have coaching, and I'm gonna talk about that then there. Yeah, it was really, really cool. All right, swing trade back in business, right? And actually, so here's the cool part. I really love that about the CFD side of it. Is so we have the swing trade back in business, but we also are redeveloping the scalp trade. The scalp trade is back in business. Where you're getting the white dot, might get the green dot. If you get the white dot green dot combo, that puts us back into the scalp trade mode, so we can kind of do both, and run that idea forward. So we'll see. 15 minutes away from the Shanghai Open, so let's see if they want to run it. If they want to run it and gun it. Just looking to see if there's any news. There's any news going on, but no, it's all very quiet. Really been a very quiet week this week, right? Even non-farms was relatively tepid. Although we had a great non-farms today. We hit every one of our scalps, and we got funded, so that was great. One trade, one funded. I hope you guys had a fun time. Come join us tomorrow. Tomorrow going to be a regular day, 9:00, and then Friday we trade CPI again at 8:00. Yeah, you asked ChatGPT. ChatGPT sucks, Keith. No, I'm just kidding. But like Claude is, I am, I have them all. I have ChatGPT, I have Claude, I have Gemini, and 99% of my time I'm on Claude because it's such a good product. All right, we're starting back up to the rally where no, not quite. I don't have it. I was just waiting for a long scalp signal, and it's not coming. We're just really dicking around. I mean, look at this. It's basically 65. It's a $10 range trade right now, which is fine. Like no biggie. We don't have any. The beautiful part is that we don't have any signals, right? That's the key thing. If there is no movement, we really don't have signals. The strategy is very good at not wasting your time in chop most of the time, right? We really slope is one of those key metrics that almost forces you to have directionality. That's why it's such a great filter. Without slope, you really don't have directionality. It's obvious, but visually, it's really helpful as far as a thing. All right, Clean Subber, have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow if you want to come trade with us, and I'll see everybody, of course, in coaching tomorrow for those that want to join me. We're chilling. 9:51. I'm going to be here for another half an hour, so I'm not leaving. I'm just simply saying bye to some of the people in the room. Who's new here? Who has never traded with us, or like hasn't really traded gold? Hasn't traded CF, who has never traded before, actually. We just kind of stumbled into the room trying to figure out what the hell this is all about. let me know. Say hi. We love new people. All right, we're holding. Will they rally? I'm keeping my finger. Oh shit! While I'm yapping, um, you know what? I don't want to do this trade. I'm not gonna do. You know what? Why I'm not gonna do the long scalp, because I'm 5 minutes away or 10 minutes away from Shanghai Open, and it's like it's the worst price. It's like the Nasdaq Open. It's just such a whipsaw that I put a moratorium of like 10 minutes before Nasdaq Open. I'm going to put a moratorium of 10 minutes before the Shanghai Open, because every time I walk into this trade, it just whips me out left and right. So no scalps right now. We're just going to hold this positional trade, see how it works out, and then after Shanghai opens up, we'll we'll play it. We'll play it as it rolls when things shake themselves out. But all that market on open positioning, I will leave it be for the next 10 minutes. Okay? Is it 5-10 minutes? Yeah, 7:51. See, it's already starting to jump around. $1-2 a second here as it's starting to move. Oh, nice to have you. Mesu, where you and you're new to gold, right? On CFD 1-minute chart, you use 77 EMA as a divider. Right now, it's acts as resistance. Okay, that's cool. Trading on Thinkorswim. Oh my God, Don, you letting your boomer roots show. No, I'm kidding you. But Thinkorswim, my friend, come into the 21st century. So if you're trading on Thinkorswim, you probably are not even familiar with the prop business. Those of you who don't know what prop trading is all about, it's both a really, really cool thing, and it can also be a huge challenge. But the most important part about trading prop versus trading your own money with your own capital is that it's limited risk capital. You can't lose any more than whatever is the entrance fee for the prop account. Like with Think, I think the entrance fee is maybe $50. With Apex, it can be as low as $20, right? So the point being is, you can't lose any more money than that, and that gives you the opportunity then to trade to target. And once you make target, you actually get funded, and then you can trade for payout money, which is of course what we do. Now we do this, in a much more professional manner, or much more, I should put it, conservative. We're doing it in a very professional manner here, but I do this with futures in the morning, and I do this with Think Capital at night on the CFD basis, where frankly, I actually, from a user point of view, I love the platform so much because it's look how easy it is to just kind of run and gun the trades here on this platform. So the two differences is that on the CFD side, when you're trading with CFD prop firms like Think Capital, you have to trade for bigger trades, but you can make them as small or large as you want it to be. When you're trading with futures, it's a fixed size trade, so your risk is almost predefined for you. So you're forced into sometimes larger positions than you want to be in on the future side. But with CFDs, you can trade as small or large as you want. The difference is that on futures, you get much faster executions, which is why we do what's called scalping, really, really fast trades, lots and lots. Like I try to do between 5 and 10 trades in an hour, which is unheard of. Almost anybody else who trades live on YouTube, because they usually do 1 or 2 trades, and they sit there like Hamlet trying to figure out whether it's a good setup or not good setup, and they hesitate 1,000 times. That's not what we do. You see me in the morning, we just gun and gun and gun. But I realized that when we're trading on the CFDs, the kind of run and gun structure that we do on futures is not enough. Like the really, really powerful trades are the big turn trades. And because my structure is absolutely optimized for both big turn trades and small scalp trades. We can get a chance to do both. So you get to see, today is sort of like my first day of trying to do the big trades with you. Not at the best of executions, but not bad. And we'll see if this turn trade works. But we've been carrying this trade for a little while. But I've been like up 50 points, 60 points on this trade, and I'm just being stubborn, trying to see if I can make 90 points on this trade as we go forward. Because when you're doing the big trades, you want a really big asymmetrical payoff. You want like a 20-point risk for 90-point reward. Whereas when we're doing scalps, we're actually doing the exact opposite. We're risking $1. We're risking 3 to make 1, but we're doing that 10 times in a row. So it's very, very strong payoffs. Yeah, I tempted you with these prop accounts. The prop accounts are great in and of themselves, because what prop accounts do, at very minimum, the very least thing they do is they teach you how to trade well, right? For a fixed cost. Like, it is so expensive to learn how to trade on your own money. The cost is literally unlimited, right? I've known guys who burned $500,000 learning how to trade. Not at all unusual. And props will teach you how to trade for $100 fixed. That just is such an amazingly powerful proposition if you take it seriously. That that alone makes it worthwhile. And then, of course, you have the kicker: is if you get good, you can get paid thousands upon thousands of dollars in payout money on the prop accounts, and that always, of course, is a great thing. Yes, that's correct, Don. Don, you probably are not familiar with TradingView, but TradingView, which is what we're trading on. By the way, this is almost a universal platform. We trade on this platform futures as well as CFDs. This is the dominant charting platform in the retail space globally, because it's web-based. It's incredibly clean and clear. You can write proprietary indicators to it, which is exactly what you have. I write proprietary indicators to this platform. This is our proprietary indicator that tells us, gives us entries and exit signals here. Learning how to read them. Oh shit. No, I'm still waiting. I was like, no. Shanghai is not open yet. I was like, we have a setup for another short here, short scalp, but I'm going to wait. I have like zero confidence that this swing is going to work. I have a feeling Shanghai is going to just rock the bottom here, take the bottom out, and then we're going to have to try to reset and try and do a third turn trade in a row. But we'll see. Maybe the trading gods will save us. I'm not. It's a complete crapshoot as to how they want to open up the trade here. 2 minutes to go to the open. 8 p.m. is the Shanghai Open. 8 p.m. New York, which is, I guess, 8 a.m. Shanghai. We'll see how they want to rock this thing. Which props are we using for gold? Think is one of them, and then we have another partner called Ola Prime, which is also a very good firm that lets you trade gold. So those two are the ones we use for gold. I trade Ola on Mondays, and I trade Think Tuesdays and Wednesdays with you guys during Asia. So you can see the platforms and the structures on both. But yes, Don, or is it Dan? Don. The answer is that TradingView is the default platform for charting and very often execution. Brokers will literally connect themselves to this platform. So you could literally, for example, Think Capital is connected directly to this. All right, Shanghai opening up, and they're trying to run and gun it. Run and gun it, run and gun it, run and gun it. Come on, gun it, baby, gun it. Gun it. Jesus, whoa. It's like the most lame little thing. It's 50, 60 points. Should I just take this trade because it's going to be a 50-point trade? Come on. All right, yeah, I'm going to just get out of this trade. I'm sure it's going to go higher, and we can reset ourselves up. But, I have like zero patience. This trade should have been about a 70, 80-point trade, but I got the execution a little bit late. It took a good long hour, but it still is a good example. I mean, the whole point is I was trying to show you. Let me show you. The whole idea is the indicator showed us we had the white dot right off the session low. That was the signal for the buy. Once this candle closed, we got long at the 56s. We got long way too high. We should have gotten long here. That would have been an 80-point trade, but we got long at around 56s. So we had to kind of nurse our way through this. I got out of it because Shanghai will very often spike up and down. I was expecting actually a reversal right here. But right now, I'm just going to stay patient. The swing trade concept that I want to show you sort of worked. If you followed me, you made at least 50 points on the trade. Should have made 100. Sometimes when we have really, really good bounces, you could make 200 points on the moves. Those of you guys who were talking to me about NASDAQ, look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ had this beautiful bounces over here at 8:30, and then we had sort of a double bottom top over here. We could have been long here. We were actually long over here, but I gave it up because I didn't want to watch NASDAQ. But if you came in over here at this level, this was a 40 point move in NASDAQ off the bounces. You could have made a really, really nice trade on. Now gold is just sticking around, and we will just simply watch it. Now I'm just going to watch it for scalp opportunities. You see, look at this. Shanghai just fucking with your positions left and right. This is why I got out of it so fast. And, now we're literally very reasonably could have a run to the bottom. Like they might want to test the bottom again. And then we can see what they want to do with the trade then there. For right now, the most important thing that's setting up for me is a possible scalp trade, right? Because I have a purple dot. I need another red dot, and the slope is already red. So if they want to run it down, I'll join them. But looks like they just want to torture you. Not even a dot here. Okay, all right. Let's see what Shanghai wants to do. So a little bit of selling, but really not a lot. Not a lot of volume either way. Gold has lost its luster, in my opinion. It used to be like the greatest trade in the world for about 2 weeks. So the links. Sorry. The links are up here on Think Capital. Let me give you the link to Think Capital here, guys. Here's the link. Use our code to make sure you get the biggest discount, okay? And if you want to come join me tomorrow, 9 o'clock, we'll trade futures. You'll see what we do on the future side, which is also very, very active. All right, so we're doing nothing. All right, I'm watching for a red dot. If I get a red dot here, I will scalp it. But I got nothing. The reason why I'm doing it is because I already have. Where's my trusty little? You see, I already have a purple dot as my primary trigger, and now I'm just looking for a red dot for a confirmation trade. To see if I can scalp it to the downside. Momentum building. Maybe they want to run the 50-50. 26 seconds left. Shanghai doing its thing. Let's see. Have to wait because the candles will fake you out half the time. You see, the sellers need to hold the lows in order for this to be a legitimate sell signal. All right, short. They did hold. Ooh, you see how fast that was? That's what I love about gold. So that just went boom, boom. We just made the scalp, and they broke the lows. So you knew they were going to be testing lows. So now it gets interesting again. They ran the lows, they brought it back. Like that was just absolute classic rug pull trading, right? And we set ourselves up perfectly for the scalp. That took a whopping 1 second to hit it. Now we're going to stay patient because now they're going to probe the lows, and we're really going to look for legitimate signs of a turn. We're going to need to see a white dot, green dot for a turn to see if is that going to be a legitimate completion of the thing, or are they going to try to push this lower? Remember, Asia opened up, they dumped it. So I guess Tokyo dumped it, they consolidated. Shanghai opened, and they just simply dumped it again. So now it's a question of, is everybody happy at the 550? Are the buyers going to come in, or are we're gonna just try to take this down to the 5,000? Either way, we're going to let the price action develop, and we will not engage until we get a good signal. That's the beauty of having this thing. Boris, I keep hearing about negative gamma all week. Is that why there's so much selling pressure in the market? Possibly. You mean negative gamma applies to the stock market? That's shorthand for option dealers having a lot of short positions. Being basically short skewed, and they have to cover their short positions by selling. That's not applicable at all to the gold market, which is not option driven, and still remains pretty much I think buy the dip market for the time being. We really haven't broken the back of the gold yet. I mean, gold had this huge parabolic moves to the upside, and then corrective, but not really seriously destructive moves to the downside. So here we go. In terms of our structure, we tested the lows. We have this white dot coming up. Now, that's not going to be enough for right now for us to, if we're aggressive, we could probably trade. I suppose if we're going to do, and if you're going to do this, you have to come in with a mindset of like, I'm going to be wrong 2 or 3 times. I'm perfectly willing to be, I'm going to take this turn and fully expect to get stopped out, take another turn, fully expect to get stopped, because if you're going to take the turn early, meaning that you're going to take the first white dot that shows up on the chart, it's rare that it's going to be the perfect bottom. So again, when I talked to you about turn trading, I said, you lose one, you make 5. That's the structure. You're looking to make, to lose 20, 30 points if you get stopped out, but you could run for 100 points to the upside if it truly turns. Or we could be a little bit more patient and look for a white dot, green dot combo, which will give us a lot more confidence that it is indeed a quality turn. Doesn't mean that it's, guaranteed, but it's at least of a quality term. We'll see how it plays out. Right now, we have no signals at all. So it's just all theoretical. Right now, the sellers still have the control of the game. So it's just simply hanging out. You guys following what I'm saying? You guys seeing it on the chart? You see this, we got no, white dot is an early sign of buying, and we got no early signs of buying right now. But we did bounce off the lows. But that could be a deceptive bounce. You don't trust the first bounce. In fact, I would feel a lot better if they came back, tried to test it again, held it, and then came back up. Now they're testing lows again, right? Why is it almost better when you have 2 or 3 tests? Because a classic rule of price analysis is if the price is touched 2 or 3 times, in other words, touched but not broken, that's usually a really good sign of support or resistance. In other words, if it pops up 3 or 4 times and they can't break the level, that means, what this means basically on an economic basis is there are buyers at the 550 level, right? And they're just scooping up these sells. They're happy to buy them as much as you want to sell them. They're happy to buy them all at these levels. So we're watching this. That's pretty interesting. It's pretty good short double bottom move. White dot that could put us in. Essentially as a sort of a short-term swing trade. If it holds, we'll see. It's a pretty good sign as far as price action goes, but it's not determinative of anything just yet. No white dot. The next one though is a white dot, so that's pretty good. If they can hold the next candle up, it'll be a little bit higher entry, but a better confirmation of buyers in the game, right? So let's give it a moment. Wait for the move, right? Wait for the move, exactly. English. I didn't know you were trading gold with me today. Nice to have you in the room. We're chilling and grilling here. All right, no white dots here. But you know what's constructive? At least for now, we'll see. If the slope is starting to turn green, there's two really key components to this indicator that give you some very valuable information. And in fact, the most valuable information by far, is the short-term slope, right? And right now, the slope actually turned right back to being negative. So I'm glad I held my patience and didn't really jump the gun, because this could be another test of the lows. It's actually like I just thought of this, is probably a really, really good metric is, well, in this case, it was very, very clear. When you're near the lows, the true signal for a turn is really the slope, not even the dots. The dots are kind of confirmatory. It's the slope. Once you get the slope turning, that's when you get the engines burning, right? That's when you get the turn. We actually have a scalp trade setting up, guys. So legit scalp trade off the lows. We're going to try this one more time. They just break in the lows. That's it. So they broke the lows. So I'm very glad I waited very, very patiently. This is a big, big move. We just dumped like 6-7 points. So there's always a risk of retrace on these moves. But I'm going to give it a shot because it's a legit scalp trade. Purple red dot. We'll see if we get a little bit of continuity here for the trade. 6, 7, 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 2, 1. Boom. Okay, I'm short here. We'll see if we get a little bit of continuity to the downside here. Maybe not. As I always said, when you get these kind of trades, you have to be mindful of the bounce back. And if we get the bounce back, we get the bounce back. So they created fresh lows. The question is this the bottom lows, or are they just it's just simply a pause and they're going to try to drill it even lower? I think they're going to try to drill it even lower, but we'll see. We'll have a game plan to trade them either way. But right now, the scalp trade is just retracing on us. And that's why when people ask me, why do you need such big stops? You got to give it you got to give it room to breathe. Prices on a short-term basis never go exactly in your direction. Although, look, they're buying the bottom here. Yeah, that was the bottom. They tested it. Interesting. Okay. Huh. All right, let's see how this plays out. So was this the last gasp at the bottom? I really thought I think they're gonna try and press it a little bit more. It's just it seems like liquidation is much more the price action here. It's just a huge amount of short covering here, and you got to survive all that short covering on the move. We'll see. Pretty big volatility on the gold move, huh? Do I trade Bitcoin? No, I don't trade Bitcoin. How do you get mine in Zip Strategy, Victoria? I think I sent it to you. Did I not send you, Victoria? I'm going to look up at your email. I think I sent you back saying fill out this form, and if you filled out the form, then I would have given you the access. Let me know, because I thought I sent you back. But if not, just email me again. I'll try to take care of it. How low was this one? I know this thing dipped, but I don't know how low it dipped. Low was 46.33. Oh man, this thing dipped, and again, we just missed the spread. I just missed the spread on this. That's the brutal part of the scalping, and that's really actually a good lesson for when you're CFD trading. Scalping is look at this. I literally missed by spread, motherfucker. God, that's the hard part, right? The money on the CFD side is on positional trades, right? And now we are getting a positional trade here. So this white dot, green slope, that's actually hopefully going to work for us as a positional trade, and we're going to go the other way, absolutely, on this move. God damn it! I took my eye off the ball for 1 second, and we missed the spread. But that's the CFD land. You gotta accept it. That trade would have been done, one and done on the future side. So you have to understand the strengths and weaknesses of each product set. All right, we're going to go long on this because it's a clear turn, right? I don't want to run away too much. Natural stop is session lows, and we're going to see if the session lows are going to be tradable. I'm going to bring this around here a little bit short because I got to go soon. So we'll see if this is just going to bounce back into a nice V-shaped move here for me. See if I can make another 50 points on the move here. But presumably, if we think this is sort of like the Shanghai bottom, we could make this could be a 100-point move if you want to stay in the trade for a longer time. I'm going to see if this thing moves out. Oh, thank you, Victoria. I'm glad you like the teaching. Thank you so much, guys. All right, we've got 10 minutes. We're going to just kind of nurse this move here, see if it consolidates. I think it finally pushes higher. But I hope you guys really see the coolness. Like, I keep trying to really, really say that the best edge is at the edge, right? The best edge is at session high, session lows. And with dots, we can really, really time that edge very cleanly without, too much. The work is done for us, right? We don't need to be too precise in our entries, and just let the trades run, right? Just make it happen. All right. Victoria, I'm going to look up your email now. Now, like, you got me all. Vic. Oops. Victor. Huh. I don't have I don't have your email, so I don't know what I'm looking up. So email me now, contact@bktraders.com, and let me just take a look and see what's going on there. bktraders.com. Okay, this is our email. Anybody wants to email me, feel free to hit me. This is the best way to get a hold of us. All right, we're starting to move, baby. Yeah, I'm gonna make it even 50, even Steven. There we go, 52. Let's see if we want to hit my target. Hi, John. Nice to have you here. Tech, everybody, nice to have you guys here. We trade Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 7 to 9:30 for Asia. So come join me any one of those days. Best thing you guys can do, everybody who's new, subscribe to the channel, because if you do, then you're going to know exactly when I'm live. I'm live all the time, but it's so much easier. Just hit the subscribe button. You guys, if you guys are enjoying this, or if you just want to learn how to trade and just come hang out, you want to learn the techniques that that we use here, just subscribe to the channel. First of all, it helps us out a lot, and secondly, it's just much easier for you to know exactly what I'm trading, because I post everything up on the moves. And if you want to trade in the morning, we trade futures in the morning. We trade gold at night. Today we're trading with our friends from Think Capital, whose platform I really love. Super easy, very clean interface. As you can see, we're using TradingView, and we're just basically now trading the swing trade off the bottom. We just missed our target, like came in within 3 or 4 points of the target, and I'm just trying to stay patient in the trade to see if it's a true turn trade. I think it is. It is a true turn trade, but you never know. The other great thing about this is, of course, we can trade against the trade also, because the CFD, we can be both long and short, so we can do a short scalp against a long swing trade, and let both of those things play out. It gives us lots of flexibility to do lots of different trades. So this gold has just been very temperamental, in a sense that it's just it's basically been chopping 50, 60 all night long, right? And it still remains that way, and that's interesting. But I do think this has been like already 3 or 4 hours, 50, 60. That if they're gonna lift it, they're gonna lift it soon. And when they do lift it, they're gonna try and lift it, to the 50 70s, 50 80s. So let's see if this thing is going to play itself out. We're trading the turn off the bottom here. The white dot was our entry, and we're just trying to trade the full turn in the trade. So hopefully it's clear. Slope's still positive, so there's just definitely no signals on the short side. Well, we'll see. All right, back to stall. Back to doing nothing, right? White dot, early buying pressure. Let's see if we can turn it. and burn it. This trade, I might let this trade float off air, and I'll update you guys obviously next week. But I gotta run, guys. But the principle is very clear. I hope you guys, you got the scalp principle, you got the term principle, you got the ideas of how we trade against the session highs, session lows. All of those things hopefully are really valuable, even if you don't, trade with us every single day. But please do come hang out with me. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we trade 7, 8:30 Asia, and then every single day, 9 o'clock on the open, except for news days. News day is going to be Friday. We're trading CPI 8 o'clock, but generally we always trade 9 o'clock New York in the morning. And also for the Europeans, we're going to do the European close next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, which will be really interesting. So that's going to be 11 to 12 noon. We're going to trade those. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. I still think this is going to turn. I'll update you guys next week on these trades. But as I said, I love the platform. Super easy to trade. And when we're trading CFDs, it's obviously much better to trade for bigger and longer because on the scalp side, we're just always at the mercy of spreads. Even though we did hit a couple of really good scalps today, despite that. Okay. I see everybody tomorrow morning. Everybody have a great, great day. Thank you so much, guys. Subscribe to the channel. If you like this, subscribe to the channel. That way you get to see all of our streams as they come on board. Thank you, guys. Everybody have a wonderful night. I'll see you.